Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with Steam Creatively. How are you? It's a beautiful day here today. I know a lot of you are smoking hot. It's not here, it's quite lovely. I sat out on the front porch and ate with my dogs at my feet because when I'm eating, my friends need to be there, right? So here's my stitch cup. How many of you have things in your home or things that you use because your grandchildren like them? I have a granddaughter who loves Stitch, and so I got myself a Stitch mug. And then she has to ask to borrow it when she's here. It's quite entertaining. So I have some new products. Stampin' Up! Has some new online exclusives that start in September. Well, we have a lot starting in September. So make sure you're on my email list and that you're following along so you don't miss out. But we have three things. We have new hot foil being released in September. As a demonstrator, you can order it starting August 4th. We have new online exclusives, and we have a new mini catalog, September to December mini catalog. The September to December mini and the new online exclusives, we've been able to pre-order. So I have those that, I have some things. And I did a video with the cute little bird set on Monday. Today's another online exclusive. And then next, after the 4th, there will be new foil that I can show. And right now the foiling system is pretty much an online exclusive because nothing is in a catalog or in print. You can print a flyer for the hot foil system. So make sure if you're on my email list, I try to put on there, print the flyer here. Same way with online exclusives. So I'm happy to share those with you. I don't have a problem with that. Just let me know. All right, let's flip over to what I have to show you. So this is the Autumn Opulence. It is one of the, okay, I'm sneaking over here real quick to plug in my hot foil. Because, oh yes, we're doing hot foil today. I mean, yes. So this is the DSP that I'm working with. Loved working with it. Love the colors. I'm a huge fall fan. One of the other things is the product of the month in August is going to be a fall DSP. So before you can order this in September as a customer, you're going to have some fall DSP that you're going to be able to work with. The colors I love with this are Blackberry Bliss. I love Blackberry. I have things piled on my hot foil system. I'm going to scooch those out of the way. It has Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, Lost Lagoon, Peaceful Pine, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, and Very Vanilla. I swear, I think I used every color. This is the Thanksgiving. Let me turn the light down here. Thanksgiving. It's got some good words. I used everything but the Thanksgiving in the projects that I'm going to show you. So I used them all. So I'm excited to show you. And then I wanted to tell you also, I'm going to move this out of the way. These are my prize reminders. I want to give out prizes. So the first person that comments on this video, I'm going to give the prizes out live this week. I've never done that before. So the first person that comments on the video is going to get to pick which one they want. And the first person that comments on the third card that I'm demoing is going to get the second one. So make sure you comment so you can get these prizes. And what you'll do is you'll tell me which one you choose and then message me with your address and I'll stick it in the mail to you. So the first person that comments now gets to pick which one they want. And then the first person that comments on my third card that I'm going to demo. Okay. So this one I did just as a fun little thing. I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought, I wonder if this leaf punch works for the acorn. And it did. I had to do a little bit of trimming, but my acorns were done with the leaf punch. Cute, huh? Let me show you real quick. And I colored them 2 different colors, as you can tell. This is Golden Glow, and this is Light Dark, and this is Crumb Cake Light Dark. So this is just an add-on to what I did. Again, don't forget to comment, because the first person that comments gets to pick which embellishment they want me to mail to them. And then the first person that comments on my 3rd card, this does not count as card 1. I'll show you the other 3 in a minute. This is just an added bonus. Okay, let me show you how this, look how close that is. Isn't that cute? I mean, that's really close. Now I'll show you how I trimmed it. One second, I got a dog over here that wants in. Let me let the dog in. Sorry about that. So to trim it, all I did was do this. So that gives me my little point. And then over here, I just kind of went over there and rounded it. I mean, how simple is that? And then I don't need a punch or a die for my own acorn. I kind of use my own thing. All right, so that was your fun little tip. Now let's create some cards here, friends. So the first one I'm going to create, I did these 3. So this one is Grateful for Everything You Do. Pretty wreath. This one we used a little of course, some gold foil in those leaves on top of the DSP. And then this one, I used that pretty dotted Swiss. I used it on this, and I used it on the vanilla background. To mix it up a little bit, I've punched these out. I'm gonna add them to the vanilla, and then we're gonna run the whole thing through to see if we like the dotted Swiss better just in the background or whether it's great on top of the DSP. So this is the first project I'm gonna do. And I wanted to show you, I foiled 3 different times with this same piece. And so I did the leaf background, and I dotted 2 pieces. I'm going to go ahead and use this for the dots again, because I want to show you how many times you can use the foil. I also want to show you that I got some bigger scissors to cut with. I also love it with my with our cutter, but I have yet to use up my first roll. Not even the whole box, my first roll. And if you knew how many things I had done, you'd be really impressed, because I've used this a ton. You know, we can't tell when we start out with these kind of things like how much we're going to be able to do with it, but I'm telling you, I have done a ton. So here is so I've got Golden Glow, I've got Blackberry Bliss, and I've got Cajun Craze. I've got Cajun Craze for my card base. I'm going to scooch me up a little bit. And then I've got some Blackberry Bliss. There's my Cajun Craze. Here's my Blackberry that I trimmed, so just saw there's just a smidge of that Cajun Craze around there. My embellishments that I'm using are these in color dots. I obviously need some more since I've used like all of them. I'm using, this is the punch. It's the rounded rectangle punch. And that's the one I used to punch all of these pieces out. We're going to add them to the very vanilla. Here's the dots, the Swiss dots that I used. And I'm going to punch this out. And I'm just going to stamp right on top of that. I had my team over and I realized how crowded we are with the cut and emboss, or with the hot foil when there's a group here. So I'm trying to think of different ways that I can pre-do some things. So I might be able to pre-do this sheet before camp next week. So when they all come to camp, they will, it'll already be done. And then this is how, see all these pieces? This is the used pieces. I'm saving them because one of our sneak peeks is one of the things that's coming up with Stampin' Up! And so you want to make sure you save your pieces. So now I'm going to take my seal. Oh, not this piece. And I'm going to adhere these on. And they're probably not going to look the same, just so you know. I'm going to cut this off because I'm going to use it again. Again, it's so pretty in Indiana today. It feels a little bit more like fall. Now, it may not be like that tomorrow, but right now it does, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I have some of my grandkids back in school, and then the ones that live in Indiana start back next week, and then my daughter, oh, there's that little sound that we love. So I'm going to put the Swiss dots on there and push my yellow dot, or push my red dot, so it goes to yellow. If you've purchased the hot foil system, I highly recommend you watch the video because it has a lot of good information in it, or at least I found that it was good for me. It's a new system to me, so I was excited to hear all of what Stampin' Up! Had to say. And all the tips and tricks. So I definitely watch the videos. And you need to make sure you do too, because you'll be happy. They just gave some great tips and tricks. And since it's a new system, they also messed up a lot. So when you order the system, you'll get an email from Stampin' Up! And you go in and register. And once you go in and register for that class, you can take the class. I need you to know, if you are not on Facebook, you'll have to go to a friend's house to watch it, because the only medium they're showing it on is Facebook. And I called them to talk to them about that. And this is just information for you. So what they said was they are having a hard time finding a platform to be able to do the things that they want to do where people can't copy it. Because we know how people are, right? They try to cheat the system. Okay, so I'm going to run my dots through now. So I put my beautiful gold side down. I'm done with this. So I'm going to run this through. And I have on my Big Boss here, sitting beside me, go slow. Because I have a tendency to whip it through as fast as I can. And they say that you get a better impression if you go a little slower. So I'm going to be patient with myself and go a little slower. But for those of you that know me, you know how painful it is for me to do that. So now I'm going to plug this back in. And we're going to show you the magic. Now I have these marks where I've overfoiled on there. All you have to do is take a little eraser or they said you could use alcohol and take it off. All right, friends, now you can see how many times I've used this. But when you look at this, it doesn't look like I've used it at all. It's really impressive. All right, let me show you the difference. So, I mean, do we dot the... Is it better with the dots on top of the DSP or not? Gosh, that's a hard call. All right, this is my Peaceful Pine ribbon on the bolt so that I don't waste any. I'm gonna make a bow over here. Now, I make bows on my cards for things like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you in my, if I was doing this at a camp or a class, it would not be a bow because they can't tie bows. They're bow challenged. So we do a knot or we do something a little bit different because, right? That's what we do. Now I'm going to seal this down. I think it's interesting that it goes through and you can see the dots on the back. I find that very interesting. All right, so this, oh gosh, I'm ready again. Okay, the other one I'm going to do is this one. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that on there and push the button because I want to do those while it's hot. I'll go ahead and stamp this. Then this card will be done and I'll be ready to move to the next one. Okay, here's my gems. Don't forget, the first person that comments on this, I'm going to send you goodies. You get to choose. I mean, these are one of the cardboards that come in the kits. You would think I could, you know, bring in a piece of something. But for some reason, I have a tendency to love the cardboard. So this is blackberry. I'm going to add my words up here. There's always something to be thankful for. And I am really totally fine with... Oh, hey, Patty. You're the first person to comment. So send me a message on Messenger with your address, and I will send you one of the embellishments. So you can pick whether you want these dots or whether you want the pearls. So you get to pick. Okay. So now I've got my Cajun Craze little pumpkins because they're adorable. And then these are blackberry. All right. I'm green. I'm go time over here. Isn't that cute? And then, all right, I'm going to have to do this and then come back because I don't know. I'm still not sure like how long once the green light's on that it stays on. So I'm going to use this again. Even though I've used it multiple times, I'm going to use it again. This is the card I'm doing it on. This one. Okay. So I'm going to put my DSP up here. And then I'm going to put my espresso at the bottom. And I'm going to run this through, but then I'm not going to show you till I get to that card. I know, call me mean, call me names, whatever you need to do. But I just need to do it because it's hot. And again, I'm working on the timing and how it all rolls. I'm sure like you are, we just aren't sure. I'll get better at it the more practice I have, but I just don't know how long some of this takes. Okay. So I've run it through and it's just going to sit over here till we're ready because I'm going to finish this one. Okay. So I've got this. I've got my little Cajun Craze pumpkin. We're going to stamp him again because it's a cute pumpkin. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to close this one up, my blackberry, before I make a mess. I'm just going to pull the color right off this. And I'm going to color this pumpkin in. You know, because it's already going to bleed a little bit. And this is my Wink of Stella. It's going to bleed a little bit, but I want a little bit darker in a couple of places. So instead of wasting some ink or trying to find an ink and making it hard, I'm just going to pull it right off that stamp. Okay, see how cute that is? Okay, now let's cut this guy out. Okay, thanks. Oh, gosh, Patty, I'm glad you like my ideas. Let me know whether you want the pearls or the other embellishments, and then I'm going to draw here again for the second set. But you get to pick first because you were first. Now, I'm going to cut this pumpkin out, and I am not going to worry about those little curly cues because he's teeny, and nobody's going to notice whether they have the curly cues or not, right? Isn't he cute? Okay. I had a class last week with my team, Patty, and we did 6 projects. It was so busy. I kind of made myself a little bit nuts. And they may tell you, they may agree with me on that I was kind of a little bit nuts. So I'm going to add this. Add my pretty embellishments. These are the in color dots. All those fancy words. Oh, here it is. Gonna put a little golden glow up here. I'm gonna add some of the peaceful pine ones too. These are pretty embellishments. Okay, friends. So do you like it better with the DSP dotted or not? Can you see that? I mean, which one do you like better? Oh, hi, Martha. You haven't even pre-ordered yet? Dang. You're a very patient person. I just think those are both really pretty. I probably like the DSP. I don't know. I'll go back and forth 100 times. So this is project number 1. Okay, so this is the next project. I just ran this through the hot foil, and I'm going to show you what I did with it. I did some stamping in early espresso. I used this little circle punch to get this circle. Oh, this is what goes on the inside. Here's my words. I have these little trays over here with my things in them. And I'm using the Botanical Glow. So this comes with a stamp set, and it has the hot foil dies. And it's okay. I will send you those dots, Patsy. Just message me your address. So I couldn't come up with the color that I wanted in cardstock. I know it's petal pink, but it was just a little too dark. So I just took my blend and I colored this circle the way I wanted it. And that just worked a little bit better for me than trying to use the DSP. I just didn't like the DSP. I wanted this to have kind of color movement, and the other seemed really flat. I'm also using these. This DSP comes with these die cuts. So it comes with all these die cuts. They were too white for me, so I took petal pink over the top. And then these I even trimmed. They were just a little bit too stark. I'm going to use one of these leaves. And I'm going to use that berry. Okay? Because, see, they were just a little too white on that. I'm going to stamp. I know you want to see what I did, but I'm not going to show you yet. You're going to have to be patient. And then I'm going to show you the foil because it's so pretty. This also comes in the stamp set, and I liked it. So I used it with my thank you. And then I'll show you how I did this. So I just went over it with the petal pink. And then you can decide whether you want to trim it or not. These guys got trimmed because the white on there was just too white. And I felt like it was such a big white, if that makes sense. It's just such a big amount around there that I just trimmed off some. I mean, sometimes I need to make it the way I need it. Because that just seems big to me. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim this one too. And again, the white was just too much. It didn't look pretty with this brown. It may look pretty with one of the other DSPs, but I wanted to use this one because I wanted to show you how beautiful the gold was on there. So I only foiled 2 of these cards. I wanted to foil the 3rd one also, but I restrained. Okay, now I'm done with this. I'm going to move it out of the way so I don't accidentally put my finger in it. And let me show you this beautifulness over here that we did. So here's this piece of hot foil that I've used. Look how many times I've used it. I've dotted it 4 times and I've done leaves twice. How pretty that is. Okay, now we're going to put it together. Some assembly required. So I'm going to fold this in half. And then what works best for me is to put my DSP down. And it goes this way. Look how pretty that is. Does that just not make you happy? Okay. And again, I've used this foil. I didn't order the Swiss dots at the beginning because I was afraid you'd only get 1 pass. So I've Swiss dotted 4 times and I've leafed twice with the same foil. So I'm getting way more mileage out of my foil than I thought I would, which is probably why I haven't even used up 1 roll, let alone 1 box. Now we could just stop there and just be happy, right? But let's add these guys. Okay. So what I did was I put dimensional on the back and got my thank you kind of where I wanted it. And then I worked these around. I'll put this way. Just going to put a little seal behind it. I'm going to stick this leaf here. And this one, I'm going to put a dimensional and stick that leaf there. Well, take the back off and then it'll stick. I mean, I'm sure you don't talk to yourself when you're stamping. Okay, and then the gems that I used were these earthy matte dots because they're perfect. They have this little dark red in there, which I think is great for this card. Let's put this one down here. And then I have some pecan pie and early espresso, which is also good. Let's put this one up here. I mean, I need to put one on there just because. If I had Blackberry Bliss ones, I would use those. But those were the earthy matte dots. How pretty is that? Okay, now let's do the last one. It's an easy one because I'm not hot foiling anything. Well, they're all easy. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing I did. Friends, I love these. I love these. So if you can see, my pumpkin and leaf sparkle, and I even went inside of these leaves. So here we go. I'm gonna add some sparkle to this. Now I'm using the Golden Glow one. So I can make it look like it's an accurate participant. If you use the Barely blush, I'll show you the difference. Like, see, the Barely blush doesn't give you color. It just adds sparkle. But I wanted the Golden Glow because it's a fall color. And then I'm going to add some to these leaves. And then down here on the cardstock. These things are fantastic. If you don't have them, you need them. Okay, look at that. Look at that sparkle. It's just so pretty, and I love that foiling. Okay, now let me show you card number 3. I'm going to leave this here because I used it. I did some coloring. Here is my wreath. I used it on the stamp positioner, and we weren't friends. And part of it, I think, was this just needed to be on foam. So I tried multiple times and I couldn't get us to be friends. So I just quit and went to the foam. Because why not? So I'm using the blackberry again. I'm going to stamp my wreath right here in the middle. And I gave it a good, firm push to get all of that center to come out. Make sure you put your thumb in the center or you're going to be unhappy. Now, I centered these the last time. I'm going to off-center them just so they look a bit different. Grateful for everything you do. I have so many people like that in my life. I am grateful for everything they do. All right, I'm going to close up this stamp pad before I have some kind of disaster because it is blackberry. Okay, so now we color. And you can see I used dark petal pink. I have dark and light golden glow. I have light peaceful pine. I have light Lost Lagoon. And I have light Cajun Craze. And then I have my shimmer pens. So how I colored this was I decided I used the nub end. And I decided these guys should be Lost Lagoon. And because of the shape of them, it's almost like they just need one pass. If I can get down the center, they just need one pass. Let's get this one. So there's that. Then I used a light Cajun Craze for these guys. I don't mind if there's a little vanilla. Oh, I'm stamping on very vanilla. Oh, one more. Okay, so that's those. And then I have my golden glow. So this one is the light. So I'm going to hit some of these with the light. And then I'm going to go back in the ones that I don't do. I'm going to hit it with the dark. Oh, I opened the brush. All right, it's fine. I can use a brush tip. I know how. I know some people squish it. I'm not a squisher. So some people, I make them use the nub end, right? But I know how to use it and not squish it. Okay, so I loved that, but I wasn't getting enough color with it. So I needed to kind of speckle the background. So I whacked my golden glow, my Lost Lagoon, my Cajun Craze. Oh, I got the nub end. It doesn't do as well. Let's go back. There I go. So now I've added those speckles to my background. Can you see that? But I still needed a little more color on my wreath. It wasn't where I wanted it. So I took my petal pink and I went over these. And then those looked better to me. And then I took my Peaceful Pine and I added some dots where these dots are. I know that sounded like a lot, doesn't it, friends? So these Peaceful Pine dots are a little bit bigger dot than when I whack it. But I just needed more interest. So I've got my Golden Glow. I'm not going to hit all the leaves, just some of them. So I have a little bit of shimmer. I can also whack this, and it does add some shimmer. Can you see that shimmer? You may not be able to see it as easily as I can, but it is there, friends. Okay, I'm going to fold this. This is Blackberry. Standard size, 5.5, 4 1/4. I'm going to fold this back. And you can fold it all the way to the center seam or however you want to do it. So I'm going to add my seal that's right here beside me and my DSP. I just cut it in half. Oh my gosh, it's right here in front of me. I know it is. Oh, right here. See? And it was right there in front of me. So I'm going to do it the opposite just because I can. So I'm going to put this piece on this side, and these are cut 2 by 5 1/4. So that's going to go right there. And then we're going to put plaid out here. And then I put Blackberry Bliss behind this. And this is one I desperately wanted to run back through and put polka dots all over the top, but I didn't. That was card number 3. Patty, is it you again, the first person that commented? I mean, I think you are. So I think you get both prizes today. I mean, does it feel like your lucky day? I'll send them both to you because you were the first person to comment on my 3rd card. So now you don't even have to pick. So the embellishments that I used on this one, I used these. These are the Pearls of Beauty. And yes, I looked to see if they were still live because I liked this color with that background. And I love putting white dots on vanilla. Not sure why, but makes me happy, and that's all that matters. All right, let's put some dimensionals on here, and I'll take the backs off. Okay, now I was filling in for Tanya today. She's going to fill in for me on Monday because I am taking my husband. He's having cataract surgery. How exciting does that sound? No one else is talking. I know. I know. That's their own fault. So you'll just get them both. Okay. Do you have a favorite? I mean, I really like the stamp set and I really like the DSP. Again, make sure you get that $75 product of the month because it is a pretty fall DSP also. They look very similar. It's a little bit lighter in color than this one. This one has a little more blackberry. The other one's a little more subtle, but it's really pretty. I've posted a picture of it. It's on Stamp Creatively and it is on the online exclusive fan club. So you should be able to go back in and look to see what that DSP looks like. So thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I gave out prizes. I did all kinds of fun things. Oh, yeah, the leaf one is spectacular, isn't it? What the heck? Well, that gold on the espresso, friends, I love what I do. I am so thankful I get to do this and I get to share fun things with you and talk to you about fun upcoming things, because the new release that demonstrators can order in August has a beautiful pine tree with deer, and we've got a beautiful green foil coming out, and then we have a copper one. So my deer are going to be in copper and my trees are going to be in green. Who knows? My Christmas cards are going to be beautiful this year. A lot of times we send photos with the family and how the grandkids are doing and all of that. This year, I may take those photos and run them through and add some leaves or something beautiful to my photos. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm still learning a lot of things about the hot foil system. So again, thank you for joining me. Tanya will be live on Monday. We'll be back together on Wednesday. It'll be August. We have so much to show you. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend. I normally don't see you on Friday, but have a good one. All right. Thanks. Bye.